Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Are you tired of hitting roadblocks when trying to debug your policies in Azure APIM using Visual Studio Code? Well, you're in luck because today we're going to tackle a common issue that many developers face when working with Azure API management and Visual Studio. Specifically, we'll be discussing the frustrating 404 error that appears when attempting to debug a policy using the Azure APIM management extension in Visual Code. This topic is especially important for anyone who works with APIs and wants to ensure seamless integration and debugging. If you're struggling to identify and resolve issues with your policies, this video will provide valuable insights to get you back on track. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the Azure APIM management extension in Visual Code, explore common pitfalls that might lead to 404 errors, and most importantly, walk through a step-by-step guide on how to resolve these issues. By the end of this video, you'll be equipped with the knowledge and confidence to tackle policy debugging like a pro. So start solving the mystery behind the 404 error when debugging policies in Azure APIM using Visual Code. Let's take a step back and understand what we're working with. The Azure API management APIM service is designed to create consistent APIs across multiple environments, while Visual Studio Code serves as an excellent tool for building, testing, and deploying these APIs. When it comes to policy management within APIM, policies are essentially a set of rules that define how the API gateway processes incoming requests. They can include logic for rate limiting caching, authentication, and more. Debugging policies is essential to ensure they work as expected, but this process involves simulating actual API calls against your policy configuration. Here's where things might get tricky when you try to debug a policy using the Azure APIM management extension in Visual Code. It uses a mock environment to mimic how the policy will behave once deployed. However, if your setup isn't correctly configured, or if there are issues with your policy definition, this can result in errors like the 404. Let's break down some common reasons you might encounter a 404 error during policy debugging. 1. Incorrect policy. Configuration. A common issue could be incorrect configuration within your policy file itself. Ensure that all URLs and references to other policies or APIs are correctly formatted and existent. 2. Extension issues. Sometimes the Azure APIM management extension in Visual Code might not be properly installed or updated. Make sure you have the latest version of the extension installed. 3. Mock environment misconfiguration. The mock environment that simulates your API for policy debugging needs to be correctly configured. This includes setting up the right base URLs and ensuring that any dependencies are resolved. To resolve these issues, here's a step-by-step approach. Verify policy configuration. Go through your policy configuration line by line. Ensure all references to other APIs or policies are correct, and there are no typos in the URL. Check extension status, open Visual Code. Navigate to the extensions marketplace and check if the Azure API management extension is installed and updated to its latest version. If not, update it immediately. Reconfigure mock environment. Review your mock environment set up for policy debugging. Ensure that the base URL points to a valid API endpoint and resolve any dependencies that might be missing. Before we wrap up, let's quickly recap what we've covered. 1. The importance of correctly configuring policies in Azure APIM. 2. Common reasons behind encountering 404 errors during policy debugging with Visual Code. 3. A step-by-step guide to resolving these issues by verifying policy configurations, ensuring the extension is updated, and reconfiguring a mock environment. Thanks for tuning in to this video. If you've made it this far, you're now better equipped to tackle that pesky 404 error when debugging policies with Azure APIM Management extension in Versus Code. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover next, please drop a comment below. Don't forget to hit the like button if this video helped resolve your issues, and consider subscribing for more tech content and solutions. Until next time, keep coding and stay curious.